Hello, everybody. Excuse me. How's it going? How is everybody? How you doing? How you been? How the heck are you? My name is Krillin. Hello. I play video games a lot of the times. I stream them some of the times. That's what we're doing tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, music comes from mostremix.org. You can stream over at rainwave.cc. All they ask is you give them a shout out, which is what I'm doing this exact moment. Boom. Bookkeeping done in the first 30 seconds. Did I not change the game? I did not. Hold on. Not that I would be, not that I wouldn't play a round of Balatro, as I crushed that challenge. Wait, did I also not change the channel name? I could have swore I did. Maybe it didn't save. Anyway. All right. We fixed everything. It's now a Sunday stream. We're now playing Poe 2. Very strange. Scissors, welcome in. How's it going? Bebop, hello. Bastion, hello. QC Hawk, hello. Hello, everybody. How are you? I see that everybody's enjoying their new animated emote from Bastion via Pink Poppy. Bastion, remind me to message Pink Poppy. I do not have nearly enough emotes. And I need to up my emote game. So I figure we can work, me and Pink Poppy can work something out. I'm always happy to support. If I don't care when I get them, I don't. And I'm always happy to support local artists. Except not local. Community artists? There we go. Actually, I don't know. Pink Poppy might be local. Community artists is a much better word. Just rewatched The Hangover. So I actually went back and watched all of those films. The second one is a bit problematic. And the third one is also a little rough. But the first one's all right. You have to remember the comedy style of the time and forgive some of the stuff that wouldn't fly in this day and age. But it was still fun. What do tigers dream of when they take a little tiger snooze? Tigers dream of electric sheep. I read that in a book once. I don't recommend the others. I think they're fine. It's just fine with the one. Just watch the one, enjoy it, call it good. One and done. That's what I always say. How is everybody this evening? I hope we're all good. I hope everybody had a good weekend. For those of you who celebrate, Christmas is getting awful close. If you still have to buy a gift for someone, please don't. Just wait. Give it like a week when everybody's calmed the F down. Tell the person, hey, sorry. 2024 was an entire year from start to finish. At no point was this year relaxing or smooth for anyone. So, you know, I just kind of forgot during the home stretch here. You'll get one in a week. It'll be groovy. If it's a child, honestly, just go to an art supply store. Get them some markers. Get them just the biggest stack of construction paper they've ever seen. Like it should actually be able to smother them. They'll love it. I've never seen a kid not love a gift of really any art supply. Markers, paints, crayons. They'll go over the moon for it. It's super easy. You're in and out in 5 minutes. You don't have to throw elbows at anybody. And that's only if they're a child. Any like 10 plus. If they no longer think Santa Claus is a real entity, just explain to them and they can wait. This PSA brought to you by someone who worked in retail for the better part of 10 years. and I worked escalations, so I've heard it all. My first year, as a fun little anecdote, my first year at my company, as sort of gallows humor, I started in October because that's when we do our hiring push. Make sure that we're prepared for Q4. Welcome in, Shirley. We do our hiring push in October to make sure everybody's up and ready for November and December, because you know that's a busy time. It used to be like 70% of our revenue was generated during those 2 months, which is particularly amusing. After training, we get on the phones. I think I get on the phones in early November, just right around the holiday time. Everything's sort of fine. You still have customers who are like, I didn't get my gift. There's ages. You can send them a new item. No worries. Everybody's happy. Late November rolls around. Items start going out of stock. Items start being pushed to delivery times that are past the holiday. Shirley would be happy with art supplies. I guarantee it. I think everybody, humanity across the board, just loves to draw and construct things. So things get moved out. Customers get a little bit grumpier. And during my first year of holidays, as a bit of gallows humor, because if you've ever worked retail, in the holiday season, people get big mad about items that aren't going to arrive in time, which is understandable. They ordered it. Perhaps it said it was going to arrive in time. This is BS. I get it. I'm sorry. That sucks. But I kept a running tally of the number of times a customer would tell me, a real live human being, hello, that I specifically have ruined their Christmas. Not, this has ruined my Christmas, not, you know, I'm mad at the company, Fingerhut. Like, you, the individual rep on the phone, have ruined my Christmas. I will give a Krillin point to the person closest without going over in chat. I'll let you know it's under 50, so you don't have to guess, like, ridiculous numbers. But how many people specifically told me that I, Krillin, ruined their Christmas? You should know what I'm starting to do now with help. Legos and models. Oh, Legos are amazing for that sort of thing. Any of that sort of, like, put your brain aside and do the task, lovely for it. Excellent choice in numbers, Shirley. Not accurate in this case, but I do appreciate the gumption for the 42 reference. I think that's all of the guesses we're gonna get. And QC Hawk is so very close. The correct answer is 24. 24 people told me that I specifically ruined their Christmas. So 1 Krillin point to QC Hawk. A lot of really close guesses. You guys were zeroing in on the correct amount. Yeah, 24. It's it was wild, and I had a little tally, and it was unlabeled because I didn't want my desk mate to, like, understand or also get the, like, to feel bad about it, because you don't want, we shared desks back in those days, but you didn't want someone to read something and be like, oh, that's really depressing. So it was just a notepad that I had on the side of my cubicle, and I just kept doing tally marks. And I remember my trainer asked me, he's like, what's with the tally marks? And I'm like, well, let me tell you a story. I never beat 24, by the way. It got better as time went on. I've had some more interesting stories regarding working in customer service, as anyone who works customer service does. But 24 was the first year, and it was the biggest number. Part of that probably comes from me getting better at my job. But part of it also stems from the company just doing better about holidays as well. So I give them some credit. I take like 80% of the credit personally, because, hey, I'm really good at things. but 20% goes to the company. You got the mayor's purple shorts. Let's go. You did that on days like Memorial Day at Best Buy with people asking if you're open. Empire Records open till midnight. Midnight. Yeah, I can imagine. If you think about it, because our call center was very busy at that time. We probably had like 60, maybe 80 agents working at that time. So if I got 24, and that was the highest, there were hundreds of people definitely telling us that we ruined their Christmas. And that affects people. Oh yeah, the mayor and Marnie are getting it on. There's an Easter egg regarding that as well. Not just the shorts, but not just the shorts, but other things play into that. Conrad, it was a reference to my Empire Records open till midnight, which is a reference to Empire. It does also reference The Room, which is funny. Hold on, I gotta write down QC's Krillin. +1 AP for at QC Hawk. Oh. There we go. We did it. Also, what a great movie Empire Records is. Just want everybody to know that. How was everybody's weekend? What did everybody do? Did anybody do anything super fun? Did anybody stream any video games? Back to your modeling, QC. One of my friends has started painting miniatures because he used to love war games like HeroClix. And HeroClix became a game that is untenable to play by any person with a rational mind. So he moved on to Warhammer, which is also a game that's not played by rational human beings, but he has very much enjoyed the Zen activity of painting his miniatures. Surely knitted. That doesn't sound right. Oh, and cat sit. Okay, that sounds good. Comrade's been playing Dragon Quest Builders. So you said you played the second one before the first one? Did I get that order correctly? If so, why in that order? And if not, that's my bad. Also, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. Played a lot of League of Legends today with a very special friend. Nice. I remember playing League of Legends 23,000 years ago. I was mid lane, and I played Morgana. She has a bind, and her ult binds everybody in the immediate area with a tether, and then after a while it stuns them. Scissors, is that Morgana? I don't remember their name. I played Morgana and Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate was really tough to play as a new player. I don't recommend it. Why in that order? Because DQB2 was on Xbox Game Pass. That's fair. Okay. Morgana was the only character for League of Legends that I bought a skin for. I do remember the Unite streams. You know who else remembers the Unite streams, QC Hawk? Pikachu. Pikachu remembers those skins. I don't remember what skin I had for Morgana, but I did have a Morgana skin. In fact, one of my first streams on this platform is me playing League of Legends with some friends. Only play ARAM. I do know a lot of people who play League of Legends do enjoy ARAM. They made it a permanent mode, and I don't know if that ruined some of the majesty. But it definitely plays substantially different. ARAM is really, really fun. All random, all mid. I can only imagine, because ARAM back when I played, the roster was like maybe 40 champions. Maybe? It might have been less. I can only imagine the roster now has got to be like 180 people, maybe more. So ARAM has got to be even more wild with just the sheer number of champions in that game. That is, unless they started to slow down the release of new champions, which doesn't seem like a thing that they should or would do. But League was always fun as long as you had a full group of people. ARAM is themed after Arcane. Oh, that's fun. I haven't watched Arcane, but I've heard really good things about it. I've heard good things about Dota 2 as well, but MOBAs are fine. I don't dislike MOBAs. But it's a game that I would really only be playing if my circle of friends was also playing it at the same time. Which, that makes any game better. But in this case, that style of game, playing with people you don't know, and communication is like, I want to say 99% of the game, but it's probably more accurately 100% of the game. You're just setting yourself up to have an unpleasant time. As long as you're losing with a bunch of people who can, you know, laugh at you and make fun of everyone and just have a good time with it, those sorts of games are A+. Whenever the salt starts flowing and people's moods start negatively impacting other people's moods is when it's time to, you know, go play Fall Guys for a bit. Just have fun. Video games are supposed to be fun, right? What a concept. I'm not saying that you can't be stressed or emotionally invested. That's good too. Just, you know, vent it in healthy ways. Shirley, how many scarves have you finished this weekend? Is the number less than 3? Is the number less than 4? I feel like you've probably knit at least 28 scarves this week. Bastion, how did the end of your stream go? I was off having a succulent Chinese meal with my friends. 2 scarves. What is a doll blanket exactly what it sounds like, or does it have a function that isn't for decorating dolls? Dangerously. Demure. Decorating demure dolls dangerously. Finally got out of Silphco. My Chinese meal was great. So ages ago, we went to the very same Chinese restaurant basically every week. It was like what we did. It was what we did every Saturday. And then life happened. People get families and whatnot, and so that becomes a lot less reasonable, you know, for a standing Saturday event. So it kind of just stopped. And earlier this year, I was like, you know what, that was silly. We should not do that. And so I've started to reschedule once a month visits to our old Chinese restaurant, which is very nice. It's been a pretty big success with people being able to show up and whatnot. And this after we got our checks, the waitress came over and she was like, "It's really good to see you guys back here, you know, our old regulars." And our waitress is like, my uncle, who had originally been like the person who served us or took our order, not served us isn't right. Basically, we paid at the counter and he was there. He recognized us from our week to week, but she said that her uncle had told her about us. And so she was really happy that we had started to come back, and that was pretty nice. I enjoyed that quite a bit. It's nice to be recognized, and to feel, I don't know, like part of a community. Does that sound weird? So the succulent Chinese meal, A+, and the other aspect, conversation and otherwise, like S times 5,000. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So that's what, 4 S's? And J's, depending on if you want to go with the Japanese spell. I've never known if there's a wordplay behind Seijin having a J in Japanese versus not in the English version. Feels like something I should know with a name like Krillin, right? Probably. Who knows? Should we play a video game? Does that sound like something that would be fun for people? Anybody here like video games? Who out there liking video games? All right, let's do it. You might remember last time on Dragon Ball Z. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we had just finished Act 3. Oh, I forgot that I have to switch games. Because it's still trying to stream Balatro. Who up videoing the games? That's a good question. Are we going to play It Takes Two? Do you own It Takes Two? We could. We've both played It Takes Two, though, so I don't think the puzzling would be too... or the puzzle / platforming would be too interesting for us. Because we would just... Oh, I've accidentally resized everything, and I've squished my chat. I'm glad I looked up my scene before just switching over to it. Well, this is getting so much worse before it's getting better. You know what? Good enough. Oop. We're playing our Ranger again. Oh, you never got to finish it. Okay, well then, yeah, we can play It Takes Two. It's a great game. What's the other one that just got announced? Flash story? Something story? I don't remember. Com can absolutely suggest the same games. Supermarket Together. There is actually a game that I think would be a lot of fun for Shirley and I to play together. I saved it in my wish list, which I don't know if anybody else's wish list is like this. It's absolutely unreadable because I've got so many things in there. Was it Aelin Tail Tavern? Was that the one? I think that was the one. Hold on. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more to see if there's something else underneath it. Read is Rewind. Nope. That's not it. Diceomancer. It was Aelin Tail Tavern. I think my wish list is at like 400. Is that good? Did I break it? What does high score mean? Yeah, my wish list is 452. Which I should probably update that a little bit, but yeah, it's fine. We gotta wait until October of 2025 for Double Dragon Revive. Brutal. We could go over my wish list. Should I just go down the games on my wish list? would that make a good stream? We'll just look at Krillin's wish list and remove games that he's either never going to play or already has. Yeah, so we could. All right. That could be a fun. Oh, there was the thing I was gonna do. I mean, you're all here, right? Yeah, we can. I think I built a special scene for it. I did. I've got to open it. Hold on. We're pausing the video game even longer. This is going to be the longest I've streamed without video gaming. That's not true. The question is where did I save it? There it is. And why do you not open in Paint? Yeah, that doesn't. Oh, this is the one I saved that had other people on it. I want the blank. Why didn't I name this something that I can find? This is why we can't have nice things. Talk amongst yourselves. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you. Well, bags is also why we can't have nice things. You know what? There's a lot of reasons why we can't have nice things. Ooh. I just found my Elite Dangerous screenshot folder. You know what I don't need is an Elite Dangerous screenshot folder. I should mention, though, what a great game. Did I save it on, like, my desktop? That would make the most sense, right? No. No, I didn't. You know what? Well, I'm just going to use the one that's already been edited. Because this is already taking too long and I hate it. So this is this is the one we get. My organization is questionable at best. But no, I wanted select. Why would you? It's fine. See, look at that. Perfect. Phantom Omaha. Wow. How's it going, my friend? How you been? Star Fox 64 PC port now has a playable demo in the Ship of Harkonnen Discord. Nice. Oh man, I haven't thought about Star Fox 64 in a while. So this is a variety game. What game series have we played at least one of? And I thought it'd be fun to go down all of the games that I've played in this, or not. Maybe it'll be terrible. Who knows? Doing good. I love to hear it. I am also doing well. Winter is always a little shaky. Just based on sad, but otherwise, you know what? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. No, can't complain, as the kids might say. So here we go. This is every game I've played. I don't. Here, we'll use red because it'll clash with that. That's. Oop. Bigger line. Perfect. We solved it. We solved it, everybody. So Mario Brothers, a lot. I don't know if I could list all of the Mario games I have played. I haven't played the Game Boy ones, at least not in any realistic capacity. I've played them from time to time, like a level or two here. So far, you're at 38. It goes down. There's even more at the bottom. 6 golden coins was your favorite. I've heard really good things about the Game Boy ones. You get the sub power up, which is kind of neat. So like, I enjoy a lot of Mario games. The number of Mario games I've played is probably 80% of the existing ones, strictly the platformers. There's been, you know, some spin-offs, you know, Super Strikers and whatnot that I'm not super interested in, but if it's just Super Mario Brothers, the platforming, really good. One of my favorites, and it's kind of weird, is Super Mario Brothers Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. That is the title, by the way. It was the Game Boy Advance remake of Super Mario Brothers 3, where they added bonus levels and a lot of extra content. Absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. 11 out of 10. Go back if you enjoy Super Mario Brothers 3 at any point, you owe it to yourself to replay that. There's a ROM hack that adds other NES characters to Super Mario Brothers 1. I also recommend that. It's a lot of fun. It's tough to find these days because I think there was some shenanigans with the original creator. But playing Super Mario Brothers 1 as Simon Belmont is amazing. Super Mario crossover, yes. Would I play 6 Golden Coins on stream? I certainly could. Was it Flash? It might have been. I thought I played it with a ROM, but it could have been a Flash game as well. If it was a Flash game, the controls would be a little wonky. Then again, if it was a ROM, or if it was a ROM, it also might just be too hard to do. Anyway, Super Mario crossover, that is the thing, but how I played it, I honestly can't say. It was over 14 years ago. I'm an old person. My brain doesn't work. You beat the whole thing as Link because you're great at it as a Zelda skin. Speaking of Zelda skin, all of them. With the exception of Hyrule Warriors, which technically I have played, I just haven't beat. And this does include Four Swords Adventures. I was lucky enough to have a group of people who also owned Four Swords Adventures. Did I? Okay, I'm now questioning if I ever beat Ages and Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I know I beat one of them, but I don't know if I beat both of them. Also, the 3DI versions don't count either. So I guess I'll say all of the Nintendo-based Zeldas. But I might not have finished one of the 2 Oracles. Yeah, the CDI games, they technically should count, but they don't. First of all, they barely play like Zelda games. Yeah, the puzzles in the Ages and Seasons games weren't super great. It was a definitely not the best Zelda crossover. Of course, as we all know, Minish Cap was the best non-Nintendo produced Zelda. For Pokemon, all of the main series games I've definitely beat, including several of the side series games. Those 2 are the reason you stop playing Zelda. You gotta go back. A Link Between Worlds and Minish Cap are both fantastic portable Zeldas. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are excellent open world Zeldas. I think I would like Pokemon Rangers. I played Pokemon Rangers. That's how we got our Manaphies back in the day. I did not beat Pokemon Rangers, by the way. I think I rented it. I think that was around the time we were still able to rent video games. Pokemon Snap, I've played both. The Switch version and the original. Love Pokemon Snap. I've played Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. Underrated dungeon crawlers are Pokemon Mystery Dungeons. I think it's I know you can always get there's like a personality quiz to get your Pokemon or who you end up starting as, but I want to say it's like 3 or 4 where the amount of Pokemon that you can end up as your starting Pokemon is enormous. There's like 16 different Pokemon that you can start as. Great games, actually. It might be fun to play on stream too. I really love the Mystery Dungeon series. I should go back and enjoy them. Explorers of Sky, I don't remember which number that one was, but that was a lot of fun. All of the Mystery Dungeons. Go play them. They're really good. Warcraft. I played Orcs and Humans, which is Warcraft 1, on my PlayStation. I do not recommend playing Warcraft on your PlayStation. I did get to play a little bit of Warcraft 2 as part of the battle chest, but I never really got super into it. World of does count, and that's probably where I have most of my time in Warcraft. But I did play enough of Warcraft 3 to have beaten the campaigns on all of the characters. Or all of the different races. I should point out that RTSs, not good at those at all. I like to build big death balls and then overwhelm my opponents with just way more units than a person should reasonably have. That's not actually the way that you're supposed to play RTS, as it turns out. Which I don't know why. That sounds like the best way to play Not Close. I just want to build a bunch of units. Smash. Smash. Elder Scrolls. I've played many of an Elder Scroll. From Morrowind forward. I never went back and played Daggerfall. I never went back and played Arena. And I don't remember what the first one was called. Was the first one Elder Scrolls Arena? Was that actually number 1? But Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, all fantastic games. I will probably be doing a playthrough of all 3 of those on stream at some point, as those absolutely go into my open world. Arena was one? Okay, I didn't remember if there was an Elder Scrolls 1 and then also an Elder Scrolls Arena, or if Arena was the first one. Daggerfall, though, had just a massive campaign map, that works. One of the biggest open worlds a person could... You think I'm going to need to stream more? I already stream nearly 1/2 of the days in a year. I don't know if I can stream more. The map in Daggerfall was a thing of beauty at the time. Unfortunately, it was plagued by the problems of the era, which was they made really big maps, and then they didn't put anything in them, which is awful. I do have many things to play. I really need to get a list, and I need to start scheduling days to play specific games instead of just playing Path of Exile on all of my days. Maybe that's a good project to do. I've got a couple days off this coming week, so that might be an idea. Fallout. To answer this question, I've played them all. I've played every single one of them. Including Fallout Shelter. I played 76. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It wasn't great. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are, of course, my favorite. New Vegas being the best. Fallout 3 being the second. Fallout 4 being also good. 1 and 2 and Tactics. I did play all 3 of those. Fallout Tactics isn't canon. Like, you don't get anything from playing them. You get some interesting lore stuff. Also, Brotherhood of Steel, which I think was the one after Tactics, or was it Brotherhood of Steel Tactics? Forget how it was worded. I never finished those. I only finished 1 and 2. If you do play Fallout 1 and 2, the recommended way of doing that is actually playing a version of Fallout 2 that ports Fallout 1's into it. So you get to play with Fallout 2's updated system and just much better way of playing, but you play through the Fallout 1 storyline. Very similar to how A Tale of Two Wastelands uses New Vegas. The Fallout 1, Fallout 2 remake that just plays Fallout 1 in Fallout 2's engine. Highly recommend going back and doing that instead. Doom. I've played Doom. I've played the original Doom. I played it on the SNES. With its, I want to say, red cart. I believe Doom on the SNES was a red cart. I'm looking it up. No, it was a blue cart. Okay. What one was the red? It was Maximum Carnage had the red cart. Or wait, is that a remake? No, it did have a red cart. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Doom and Maximum Carnage had red carts. Which, honestly, more companies needed to utilize colored carts for the SNES. It was a great way of differentiating. Well, even the NES was a great way of standing out amongst the crowd. Also, this is easily going to take like an hour and a half. I'm going to switch this to just chatting. We are not playing a video game right now. I spelled just chatting wrong, but we got there in the end. You have to sleep? Well, have a good night, Scissors. Thank you for stopping in. Just like we've made it, what, 10 down? Yeah. Anyway, Red Cart Doom, played that, beat it. It was great. I never played any of the ones on PC. I never played the remake or anything. We just enjoyed the Doom that we had at home. And first-person shooters are enjoyable, but they're not really. They're something that I like in small doses. Kingdom Hearts. I've played so many Kingdom Heartses. So very, very many of them. I have not played all of them. I've played Chain of Memories. What is it? 365 by 2 days, I think. I played that one. I played a little bit of Dream Drop Dissonance. But there's many Kingdom Hearts games. I've played all the main ones, 1, 2, and 3, of course. With 2 being the best, 3 being... Well, 3 has some problems. We'll see what we get with 4. I can see 4 being either really good or really bad. Looking forward to it. I love the Kingdom Hearts franchise in theory. Like, Kingdom Hearts 1 was amazing. Kingdom Hearts 2 was fantastic. And then Disney was like, instead of focusing on any of the Final Fantasy aspect of this Final Fantasy / Disney crossover, let's just focus on the Disney crossover. Which my big hope is that because 3 was so focused on Disney, 4 is incredibly focused on Final Fantasy. I would love if there was like a divide between those two. Personally, I'd love it if each game, you know, focused on both aspects, but it is what it is. Crash Bandicoot. I've played Crash Bandicoot 1 and like maybe Crash Bandicoot 3. I drew a little E for Crash Bandicoot. E for everybody. It's a fine platformer. The gimmick of running away or toward the camera didn't really. It was fine. I'm not a Crash Bandicoot fan. Donkey Kong. Oh boy, how have I played Donkey Kongs? I played all of the Donkey Kong countries. Love all the Donkey Kong countries with the exception of 3. 3 is fine. You beat Crash 1, 2, and 3, and the one where Crash and Cortex are stuck together. Oh, I know that one. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember seeing ads for it in IGN at the time. Crash is fine. At that time, I was playing a lot more PC games, and still currently am playing a lot more PC games, so I lost a lot of the PS2 era platformers. Twin Sanity, nice. I played Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., where you had to escape from Mario. There's a lot of Donkey Kong games. What was the Frozen one? I forget. Tropical Freeze? Jungle Freeze? That one was surprisingly good on the Wii U. I never beat that one. I only played a few levels and then I got distracted by something else. So I still need to go back and replay that to its completion. It wouldn't be on stream, it'd just be something that I did. Tropical Freeze. I don't remember if it was Jungle or Tropical. Tekken. I have played a Tekken. I'm not a Tekken player. It's not my favorite fighting game franchise. It's not in my top 5 fighting game franchises. It's probably not in my top 10 fighting game franchises. It's fine. Heihachi's cool, I guess. When you get to fight as a bear. Donkey Kong Country Returns. What was that one? Was that the one that was out recently? Did I not play that one? I don't think I did. Oh, was that just a remake? 2010 platformer made by Retro, released for the Wii. I don't think I played that one. Okay, cool. I should give that a look. It did get re-released on Switch. They re-released so many good games on Switch. One of the reasons why the system's so good. We basically got the entire Wii U catalog that mattered, and then all of the Switch games, which are super awesome. Borderlands. Boy, howdy, have I played a Borderlands. I've played all 3 of them. I did not play the pre-sequel or Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderland was great for a level. I don't think the gimmick would have lasted for more than that. So I didn't play the full release. And then the prequel or the pre-sequel, I'm like, that's fine. I'd had enough of Borderlands 2 at that point, so I didn't really jump into it. I do enjoy Borderlands. It's a good game. Very enjoyable. Very shooty and looty. That's a thing that you enjoy, which I do. So that's quite fun. Big fan of that. The Sims. I have played all of the Simses. I have played all of the Simses with all of the Simses expansions. I would generously be called a. Oh yeah, the bottom half is the secret half. Although I've played several of these. Sims 2 is the best, especially when it's got all of the expansion packs with it. Sims 2 is absolutely just where you want to be in a Sims game. Sims 3 did get quite a bit of extra stuff at the end of its life. Like the last 2 expansion packs for The Sims 3. Ooh, bangers, straight bangers. If you had issues with like Sims 3 at the beginning, going back and playing with the full release of things is super awesome. And then Sims 4, we're gonna be stuck with it for a while. It's good. I'm not going to bash on Sims 4. It has some issues. We don't know if they're gonna fix them. We don't know if they won't. If you're tired of the Sims like treadmill of expansion packs, go back and play 2 or 3. You really don't have to. You don't have to keep up with it. It is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Sims 4. It has a lot of really fun stuff with it. People have a lot of things to be mad about regarding Sims 4, and I don't want to take that away from them at all. It doesn't make the game worse. There are things about the game that could be better, but that's the same as any 2. But Sims 2 is peak in my opinion. Updated count 59 out of 100. Nice. Dead Space. Actually, I've never played a Dead Space. I've never experienced the horror that is the space game. I would probably enjoy it. I think Bastion would likely also enjoy it as well. Oh, never mind. Bastion is in fact saying that he enjoys it, so there you go. I don't know what I was probably just consumed by World of Warcraft when these games were coming out, so not a lot of this genre or this era of games got played. You've 100% of the first and the third, and almost the remake. Okay, that's a lot of Dead Space to have played. I'm glad you enjoy the series. I've never seen anything about Dead Space that I wouldn't enjoy. I just have there's infinite games, so like, it's just one of the games that never gets moved high enough on the priority list. Animal Crossing. I played the first Animal Crossing. That is the only Animal Crossing I have ever played. It's probably the only Animal Crossing I will ever play. I enjoy Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a very good game. It's a great series. I just don't want to play it. Yeah, Bastion's never heard of this game. I know as a big Stardew Valley fan, Bastion, you might enjoy Animal Crossing, so maybe look into it. I've looked at the latest one for the Switch. Briefly considered playing it a few times. Never really got around to it. Maybe someday in the future. Fable. I've played all of the Fables. All of the Fables are great. I'm really looking forward to the new Fable. A next generation Fable is absolutely something that I would enjoy. The first Fable was amazing. The second Fable was less good, but still really good. And this new one, we've only seen cutscenes, so we don't know what it's going to provide, but it also looks really good. I just realized this particular scene doesn't have the name of the song that's playing. Sorry, OC Remix. I apologize. Contra. I've played many a Contra. I've not played all of the Contras. I do enjoy a good Contra. Super Contra for the SNES. One of my friends and I have played through that game enough times where I don't lose lives on it anymore. Probably not these days, but there was a long time when Contra was just me running and gunning. Great series, really fun if you enjoy running gun gameplay. I recommend Contra. I've played Team Fortress 2. I was the heavy. I've not played enough Team Fortress 2 to talk about it at any great length. Moving on. Punch-Out. I've played all of the Punch-Outs. Super C on Steam. I don't think I've played Super C on Steam or even heard of it. I assume it's a Contra game. I haven't played. Is it Super Cycle? I haven't played a Contra in a really long time. The era of the Contra, it was. Oh, you were the soldier on TF2? Nice. The era of Contra games harkens back to the time when you played just one game and got really, really good at it. That sort of genre was a game where, or that sort of game is part of a genre that rewards you for, you know, just memorizing where to go and where to be and what to do. I haven't really had the time to play that style of game in a good long while, but Dark Souls would be a similar description. If you, I mean, not really. Gameplay wise, vastly different, but it's sort of the same like concept regarding the difficulty. Like, the game isn't hard, you just need to know what you're doing. That makes sense, which it probably doesn't, but like, when you know where all the enemies are going to spawn and where all of the super cyborg, okay, when you know where all the enemies are going to spawn, when you know the boss's patterns, when you know where all the weapons are, games like Contra, very easy. Like, you're gonna just blast through them. Similarly with Dark Souls is where I'm getting at. It's a game that rewards player knowledge through memorization. Speaking of games that reward player knowledge through memorization, Punch-Out, goated game series. Cannot recommend Punch-Out enough. From Mike Tyson to even fighting Mr. Dream in NES's Punch-Out, to Rick and Nick Bruiser in Super Punch-Out, to Donkey Kong in Punch-Out. All the Punch-Out games are amazing. There's a game that's coming out on my wish list that harkens back to that era of like Super Punch-Out and Punch-Out for the Wii. I think it was just called Punch-Out. It was just Wii's Punch-Out, or it didn't get any sub name. But it was absolutely amazing. The hidden boss was Donkey Kong. It was super good. Highly recommend. I kind of want to find the name of that Punch-Out like that's coming out. I know I've got it wish listed. You wish list a lot of games in my line of work, which is to say, not in my line of work at all. It's called Big Boy Boxing. Big Boy Boxing. Looks really, really good. Very excited. Coming soon is all we have on that. Saints Row. I've played exactly one Saints Row game. It's fine. I'm not, whatever. I didn't hate it. I didn't enjoy it. It didn't leave any meaningful impact on my life. It's just kind of like a bombastic shooter, GTA style. Nothing to write home about. Jak and Daxter. I know I've probably played like a level of a Jak and Daxter, but I've not played them to any reasonable amount where I would indicate that I've played. So like picking up a set of sticks from your friend and jumping across a level isn't, in my opinion, playing the game. Just messing around or whatever. So I will not highlight Jak and Daxter. I know of them. They're a fine series. It's just that that's very similar to the not necessarily the Dead Space era, but like Dead Space, Jak and Daxter, and not Conquer. Crash Bandicoot. Just games that I never really latched onto. Guilty Gear. I have also played an Guilty Gear. Also not a fighting game that I'm super in love with. Higher on my list than Tekken. StarCraft. We played StarCraft. I played 1 and 2. I was always the humans in StarCraft? Yeah, Terrans. I was always Terrans. In the rear with the gear. StarCraft's fine. It's another RTS. Nothing really to worry about. I've never played a Nier. This is actually one of the games that is sort of a glaring omission, as I'm absolutely certain I would enjoy like Nier Automata, but I've just never played it. So it's a shame. Warhammer. I've played a couple Warhammer games. I played a little bit of Space Marine. More recently, I've played Vermintide and Vermintide 2. Games that I enjoy quite a bit. Sort of against the Horde style. I've heard really good things about Space Marine 2, and I absolutely expect to play it at some point. Don't know when, but it's on the list. Definitely a fun game. Just gonna check this one off. Bill. So, I didn't do what I wanted to do. There we go. Final Fantasy. Yeah, we've played a few of those. I have played and completed every Final Fantasy up until Final Fantasy 13. I have played several of the Game Boy games, which almost don't count because most of them would fall under the Of Mana series. I've played a lot of Final Fantasy in my day. Final Fantasy 13 is where I sort of fell off. Final Fantasy 14 and 15 have... well, 14 is amazing, sorry. I do enjoy Final Fantasy 14. I have played that one. Haven't played it to completion. Fun fact, it doesn't ever end, so I can never play it to completion. But 15 and 16 also weren't really up my alley, in my wheelhouse, if you will. 15 I fell off really early. 16 I made it a little bit longer, but also stopped playing that one after, I don't know, maybe like 6 hours. I probably won't. I probably won't. It's that style of game is really not my genre. It's also not a role-playing game, which really bothers me, but we can have that argument until the end of time. They made a different game for a different audience. That's their prerogative. People either love it or like it or they don't. It is what it is. Here's one that might confuse Bastion. I've never played a Pikmin. I ain't never picked a man or picked him in. I know of Pikmin, but never really given it too much of a shake. Tales of. I think because you would have expected me to have played a Pikmin. I don't know why it would confuse you. I've never played a Tales of either. I may have played one of the earlier ones before they got their like Tales moniker, perhaps. But any of the recent ones, I've just never really had an opportunity. This much like Nier is a series that I would absolutely go back to and enjoy. Maybe Tales of Symphonia 1 and 2. I'm just saying that the naming, depending on when they first came out, the naming convention may have changed a little bit, much like the Of Mana series, with Secret of Mana, Tales of Mana, etc., etc. Because they weren't called Secret of Mana in Japan, so they got renames. I don't know if that also affected the Tales, is all I'm saying. But either way, I haven't played any of them. At least not that I'm aware of. I've played a lot of Manas. I enjoy the Mana games. My favorite is Legend of Mana. If you haven't played Legend of Mana, you should. It's one of the best Manas. In fact, in my opinion, it is the best Mana. I've heard really good things of the newest one. About the newest one. It's definitely on the short list. There's a lot of RPGs from 2024 that I need to go and play, and that's up there. So I look forward to doing that. I've played several Metal Gears, including the one for the NES. I've never beat the one for NES. The only one I beat was Metal Gear Solid. I enjoy Metal Gear Solid. It's not my franchise. It's fun in small doses. But after Metal Gear Solid, I never really picked the series back up. It's good, not great. I mean, it is actually a great series. It's just not my jam, not my jiggy jams. I've played, I want to say 2 of the God of Wars, and I want to say they're God of War 1 and God of War 2. Which they were very different games back when they were God of War 1 and God of War 2. So, yeah. The newest God of War, I think, was really good, and then the sequel people were kind of grumpy about. Because they focused on the thing that people didn't like. Which is strange, but Sometimes you hit, and sometimes you miss. Played many a Tetris. I would say that I'm pretty good at Tetris. I would say I'm above average at Tetris. Maybe even above average plus. On the PS2, yes, that's the one that I'm also referring to. Those are the God of Wars I played. Those the PS2 era ones. I ain't never Red Deaded No Redemption. I do know that I would likely enjoy them quite a bit. They're probably open world adventure styles that I could sink my teeth into. So possibly a series to go back to. Street Fighter. I've played many a Street Fighter. It's in my top 5 fighting games. Yeah, probably top 5. I don't think it's in my top 3. But I've played many a Street Fighter. I am an aggro character. I'm an aggro fighting game player. So Street Fighter 1, I was Chun-Li. Well, technically Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 1, you didn't have that. You didn't have that option. And then Cammy. Once we got Cammy. Always enjoyed a Street Fighter. Never really focused on it as a series, but and very good game. I've heard the latest Street Fighter is absolutely amazing. Like literally one of the best fighting games potentially ever. I keep seeing gameplay of it and keep seeing people work through it quite a bit, and I'm like, I should really get into Street Fighter. But who has time? There's just so many games. Chrono series. I've played Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. I've beat Chrono Trigger several times. I've beat Chrono Cross once. I did not get to play Radical Dreamers. I was not one of the like 400 people in the US who played that. Maybe 400. That doesn't even sound right. The sequel, Chrono Cross, is finally, I feel like finally getting its flowers. There was an interview with the director who said, I don't know why people didn't enjoy Chrono Cross as much as they enjoyed Chrono Trigger. But they should understand that, like, the purpose of the game was to evolve. It wasn't just supposed to be Chrono Trigger, but with different characters and a different story. And I kind of get that. There's only one color. Ignore the greens. There's only red. The green is because I lost the file that was the blank version. I'm going to find it immediately after the stream, and I'm going to be incredibly grumpy about it. Or I'm going to learn that I never, in fact, saved the blank version. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Chrono Cross got a lot of flack because it wasn't Chrono Trigger. And the feeling now is that Chrono Cross is a game that is like a band's second album after their hit album, but it's their second album after like 8 years. So it sounds almost completely different. They've all learned so much more. And people are like, but we loved this first album, just make this first album again. And the directors are like, but I've grown as a person. Like, I'm not the person who made Chrono Trigger anymore. I want to make Chrono Cross. If that makes sense musically, because you get that in music all the time, where a band will release a second album and people will be like, this is crap. I just want to listen to the first album all over again. It's like, but that album already exists. You can listen to the first album. Welcome in, Mrs. Killer. How's it going? QC played Cross first and enjoyed it, then found Trigger. I also enjoy Chrono Trigger much more than Chrono Cross. But I feel like the community opinion on Cross is coming around. I don't know if it's a better game than Chrono Trigger, but I think it shouldn't be judged as Chrono Trigger's sequel. It should just be judged as its own game, and as its own game, it's a good game. Like, it's very enjoyable. And that's my spiel on Chrono. What I do want more. Where's 3? We need a 3. That's the important thing. We need a 3. Whatever it happens to be. Ratchet and Clank. I ain't never played no Ratchet and Clank. I ain't never wanted to. Mrs. Killer, what we're doing here is I'm going through all of these games, it's a variety of games, to see how many I've played. And so far, the answer is quite a few of them. These are all game series, and so I'm just kind of talking about the ones that I've played. Call of Duty. Call of Duty. So COD, as people say, when requiring cash on the delivery of their package, I've played a couple. Modern Warfare 2 is the one that I believe everybody has played into oblivion and back. I never really played the World War I and World War II games much. I have played them, but they weren't particularly my jam. This was probably one of the first-person shooters that I've played the most of, was Modern Warfare 2. Still haven't played well, I've probably played a good amount of it. I don't want to say I haven't played a lot of it. I've played exactly one Age of Empires. It was Age of Empires 2. I didn't play a lot of it, but I played it enough that I'm going to give it a check mark, or whatever this shape is supposed to be. Yeah, there we go. Now it just looks like I really hate Age of Empires. That's all right. We'll understand that indicates we've done that. Need for Speed. One of the game series that I want to come back is Need for Speed Underground. I'm not a racing game fan per se. I mean, I like Mario Kart as much as the next person. Halo 2 will always be the most played FPS. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I played a lot of Halo, which yeah, it's coming up. But the first-person shooters, I mean, I've probably played more Borderlands than Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 now that I think about it. But there are other games that are first-person shooters that I've played. But Need for Speed Underground was really, really good. I can literally conjure the intro screen into my brain at will. It's forever etched into my brain. Really good series. I would like those to come back. EA had The Crew, which was a racing game that I thought would have been really fun to play. Never really got around to it. I talked about it on my game preservation rant. But unfortunately, with EA being the way EA is, I don't know if I would ever trust them regarding basically anything. So this, despite me wanting another Need for Speed Underground, even if they made it, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd go back and even play it. Harvest Moon, aka Story of Seasons. I've played many a Harvest Moon. I will play many more Harvest Moons as they come out. My family and I played the first one on the SNES, basically until the cart wore out. You can't spell cheap without EA. Ain't that the truth? As much as I complain about Ubisoft, I can also complain about EA. Basically, most major video game companies are nearly or adjacent to the devil. Much like foosball. What's not the devil is Harvest Moon. Okay, well, there's actually kind of a story there where the company that owned Harvest Moon kicked out the person who made Harvest Moon. And so then they had to change the name of the games. And that's why we currently have 3 different games in the quote-unquote Harvest Moon franchise. We have Harvest Moon, we have Story of Seasons, which was the original Japanese name of it, and then we have Rune Factory. Rune Factory is separated and become its own thing. Story of Seasons are the games that are still being made by the person who made the original Harvest Moon and are the direct descendants of Harvest Moon. And then the current Harvest Moon, I believe, is owned by Nintendo. I don't remember exactly who owns them, but Harvest Moon is not Story of Seasons. So, like, our new Harvest Moons are not Harvest Moon. It's a very confusing sequence of events around Harvest Moon. They're all great. Foosball is the devil, that's Waterboy. That is correct, comrade. Well done. That is correct. Look, Mom, it's the devil. A lot of shenanigans regarding Harvest Moon. Love the series though. One of my favorites. Prince of Persia. So fun fact about Prince of Persia, I've played the NES or SNES. I want to say it was a PC port that was very similar to Out of This World. I never beat it because good gravy was that game impossible. But this was another game that came from an era, at least until the remakes. I did play Sands of Time for a little bit. That kind of counts. This was another game that rewarded you knowing what you were doing. If you knew where you're going and what you're doing, it's one of the games that you can beat in like 15 minutes. But it's also a game where you're supposed to explore and find where to go and what to do and things like that. Very fun. I've never played a Max Payne in any reasonable capacity. I played it some, but it wasn't really a series that I played through or did much with. I played the NES Ninja Gaidens to completion. I played the Xbox Ninja Gaiden past the first boss. The one thing that I appreciated about Ninja Gaiden for the Xbox, which I'll be honest, I didn't appreciate much because I did not play it too terribly long, was that the first boss taught you exactly what the game was about. Which gave you a really good indication of whether you needed to pack the game back up and return it to the store that you purchased it from. Because the first boss was punishing. Very high difficulty of Ninja Gaiden. It was a Dark Souls Ninja Gaiden game. I'm looking forward to the new one quite a bit. A franchise just let the 2D beat 'em ups. There we go. I was gonna say run and gun, but that's not right. That's Contra. Persona. I've played Persona 3 Golden? Or is it 4? Was it 4 Golden? I don't remember which one it was. And I've always meant to go back and play Persona 5. Okay, so then it was Persona 4 Gold. Great game. Absolutely loved it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Persona 5 is a game that I need to go and play. Because I know I would enjoy it. It would be quite a lot of fun. Bayonetta, I've never played, so that one stays blank. Medal of Honor, I've also never played to an amount that counts. I've probably played a level, probably shot a person here or there, but much like the earlier Call of Duty, I didn't really hook me. Dead or Alive, I have played, including Extreme Beach Volleyball. No, I'm not particularly proud of that, but hey, we were all once young boys. That's right, all of us. It's a fine fighting game. It's probably top 10, but not my favorite at all. I have played Deus Ex. I would play Deus Ex again. That might be a fun one to go through on the open world. It's not as open world as like your Cyberpunks or your Morrowind or your Elder Scrolls, but it's a good game. I would absolutely enjoy it. I've not played Drakengard, but I have played many a Breath of Fire. Many a Breath of Fire. I even played the really bad ones, like 1 and 3. Breath of Fire 4 is probably one of the best PlayStation era RPGs. Like, not particularly close. If you put two people who have never played or heard of the Final Fantasy franchise and have probably not played any modern games, because if they played modern games the old style, and you have them play Final Fantasy 7 and Breath of Fire 4, I guarantee in a vacuum every single person would enjoy Breath of Fire 4 more than they would enjoy Final Fantasy 7. It's so good. You owe it to yourself if you enjoy old school RPGs to play Breath of Fire 4. It's amazing. enough gushing there. Dragon Quest, formerly known as Dragon Warrior. I have played 1 and 4 and like 7 and maybe 9. I've played a smattering of Dragon Quests. It was either 3 or 4, which I don't think I mentioned 3. I'm pretty sure it was 4. That when I had the chicken pox. This was when Krillin was a very, very young Krillin. When I still had hair and was not yet being trained by Master Roshi. My dad, in one of my fondest memories, it honestly isn't even really that big of a deal. But he went and rented me Dragon Quest 4 or 3. I forget which. I think it was 4. I'm just gonna say 4. He rented me Dragon Quest 4. And he would, when it was due to go back, he took the game, he brought it back, and he rented it immediately again. It was just really, and like, if you think about that conceptually, you've got a sick child with the chicken pox. They want to play a video game. This is not bending over backwards. But I remember it very specifically. It was a nice moment, and good on Krillin dad. And so yeah, I enjoy Dragon Warrior. Back then it was called Dragon Warrior. The real question with this list isn't how many I've played, but how many need to go on your list. It's a few. Like, we've talked about 4 or 5 that need to go on my list. We've now been talking for like, what, 40 minutes? An hour? 60 minutes? And we're about halfway through the list. Halos. I've played several Halo. I've been known as John Halo from time to time. Halo 1 was revolutionary at the time. In multiplayer Halo 1, I was so far ahead of everybody else in the game, mechanically speaking, in my friend group, that the only gun I was ever allowed to shoot was the Needler. Now, some of you may remember the Needler as being really, really good in Halo games that aren't Halo 1. The Needler was not good in Halo 1. It was the only way that we could make the game balanced for people who weren't me. I played a lot of Halo. Halo 2, and it's fine. But because they felt that the Needler was awful, that was the gun that I was restricted to. We never really learned the pistol technique, where in Halo 1 all you ever use is the pistol. But that's because by the time that technique was widespread enough, we'd moved on to other games. But yes, the pistol in Halo 1 was the only gun you ever actually wanted to use. And if we had made it to the point where pistols were, like, our skill ceiling was high enough that the pistols were what everybody would use, me being stuck on Needlers would have made it impossible for me to get a kill. So, yeah, played a lot of Halo. Not just we played a little bit of 2, we played a little bit of 3, but I kind of fell off after 3. I have a buddy who's an absolute diehard Halo fanatic. Loved the game quite a bit. LANs with your Xboxes, let's go. Fond memories of Halo, even though I was never really an Xbox person. GTAs, I've played up through 3. I don't think I ever played GTA 4. Maybe a little bit. Maybe. I played the 2D ones. They were fun. When the series went 3D, that's where it got really good. Of course, I think everybody knows that. Vice City was goated. Not a franchise that I love or a franchise that I'm particularly over the moon for, but a good franchise. GTA, what is it, 6? The one that's in the works that people are pretty psyched about. QC Hawk in Halo 2 was only allowed to use grenades and beatdowns. No sword. Nice. I always appreciated the like inter-friend group handicaps, because they were such a good way to make the game more interesting. And when you were the higher skill player, Like, at some point, it stops being fun to just shoot everybody instantly with, what was the combo in Halo 2? Was it like plasma pistol revolver? Where you'd pistol their shield away and then you just double tap them in the skull? Like, if you were good at that and the rest of your crew couldn't do it, you literally never lost an encounter. Well, you might get sorted in the back or whatever, but... those sorts of self-regulation always amuse me. I have played all of the Diablos, including Diablo 4. Actually, I lied. I have not played Diablo Immortals. I will never play Diablo Immortal. I don't think anybody who keeps up with Diablo would be surprised by that statement. Big fan of Diablo here. My first encounter, or my first exposure to Diablo was actually on the PlayStation again. It's the phone game, and its monetization scheme is absolutely gross. In a game about constantly scaling your player power, gating your player power behind paying money is disgusting. The fact that Blizzard made any amount of money off of that game is awful and makes me question the hobby that I've chosen to be so in love with. ODST was amazing. We actually played quite a bit of ODST. Considering, like, this was at the time when we were switching games very rapidly, so being stuck on ODST for as long as we were was pretty special. Assassin's Creed. I played the first one. It was good. I never played another one. That still counts. That absolutely counts. From what I understand, there are several Assassin's Creeds that are super good. Heard good things about Black Flag. Errol, you currently have a muted tag. Can you hear me? If so, good on you. If not, good on you. I don't know how to respond if you can't hear me. There isn't much gameplay going on right now. We're currently just talking. We're in the just chatting screen and everything. Metroid. You heard nothing? Perfect. I have played... I never played Zero Mission. Played most Metroids. Played the NES Metroid. I played the SNES Metroid. I've played Fusion. Fusion was super good. Highly recommend Fusion. Metroid Dread. I've played the Metroidvania Metroids. I never played any of the 3D ones. Much more than like a cursory amount. That's not my Samus, but I do enjoy Metroidvanias quite a bit. Naturally, I enjoy the Metroids as well. BioShock. So here's the fun story about BioShock. I played the first one. And if you're ever playing BioShock, you need to immediately forget what I'm about to tell you, because it will absolutely ruin the game. There's no penalty for dying, and enemies retain the damage that you've dealt to them. There's no point to play BioShock 1. There's no gameplay. There's nothing to do in the game. None of the enemies matter. None of the fights matter. None of your level ups or your experiences matter. It is a meaningless game that is, a child's equivalent of one of those blow-up dolls that you push over and it swings back up. That's BioShock 1. You just push the doll over, and if it gets back up, you push the doll over again. You're immortal, and there's no consequences. Right. It is the story that matters. I agree. I love that. I love stories. Movies are one of my favorite forms of media. I listen to audiobooks more than most people breathe. If you wrap your story in a game, please make sure that there's a game there. One of the other things that I'm very passionate about are games. And if you do not present me with a game, I will call you out on that instantly. So BioShock, not a game. That was my biggest disappointment. I think I made it to like the second or the third boss before, or the third like big encounter where I'm fighting the boss and, you know, it's not going well and I die. I'm like, oh, well, that's a bummer. And I go back and I'm like, wait a minute. The boss is taking all the damage that I've already done to the boss. What? So I kill the boss that way, and I'm like, what was the penalty for dying? Like, what did it matter? So then I immediately switched my skill set to utilizing the crowbar, or was it a wrench? I put all my perks and whatever perk cards there were, and I just made my crowbar super good. And I proceeded to beat the rest of the game by beating everything to death with crowbars and dying if they killed me, because nothing mattered. I imagine. By the way, that put me off of any of the future BioShocks. From what I understand, 2 and 3 were also fantastic games. But beating the game that way put me off of all future BioShocks. I would imagine that there has probably been a community mod or something that makes the impact of the game impactful. Moving on. Mass Effect, played 1, 2, and 3, loved them. Loved Mass Effect. We stand Jack in this channel. BioShock is one of Mr. Killer's favorite games. It's a beloved franchise. People love BioShock. I don't take that away from them at all. And you should love BioShock. The story in BioShock is one of the best. It's super good. I just wish they made the game better. I just wish they made the game better. Yeah, we stand Jack. Mass Effect is fantastic. If you play Mass Effect 3, if you play like the remastered edition, make sure that you download the mod that fixes the camera angles. For 2 reasons. 1, come on. And 2, that is how the developers programmed the game to be played. You are supposed to be staring at the bottoms of all of your characters in like 60% of the cutscenes. Switching that camera angle is a disservice to the people who made a game that is mostly about making out with aliens and staring at butts. Shame on you, BioWare? Or Microsoft, whoever re-released it and quote-unquote changed the camera angles. Quote-unquote fixed the camera angles. I have strong feelings about that. I mean, who doesn't like butts? Moving on, Star Fox played SNES and Star Fox 64. Never played Star Fox Adventure. I'm okay with that. I would like a new Star Fox game. They're a lot of fun. Star Fox 64 is goated. Great games. I've never played Last of Us. I did, however, watch my roommate play Last of Us, so I don't know if that counts. You have a lot of hours in 14s just so you can look at butts. You can look at butts through so much of Final Fantasy 14. I don't know if that counts. I have not played it though, so I'm not going to mark it. Fire Emblem. I've never played Fire Emblems. I probably would enjoy a Fire Emblem, but just never got around to doing so. Never played a Far Cry. I don't know if I would enjoy a Far Cry too much. And tail plugs if you like to cross streams. That's fair. Resident Evil. I've played several Resident Evils, which is to say I've played Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've not gone further than 4. I never played 5, 6, 7, and what, 8? I think they're up to the 8th one now. The best one is 3. Anybody who thinks otherwise is just incorrect. I will be taking no comments regarding this. We're gonna just move on. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, boy howdy have I played a lot of those. I want to say I've played all of them. Is it 8? I thought it was 8. I wasn't 100%. Yeah, they did the thing with Village. A very clever who's its things. Underground, so good. So good. I still like American Wasteland, but Underground was great. We were just talking to Bastion during the book club about Tony Hawk. What a great series. Can't recommend it enough. Gran Turismo. I've played several Gran Turismos. Again, I'm not really a racing fan with the 9-foot tall goth vampire mommy. She's very tall, and she does have daughters. That's it. That's all we have to say. Gran Turismo is really good. I don't think that... I think this is the one... The Gran Turismo that skews closer to arcade racing than to... And Forza that's closer to true racing. I forget which of the two is the more arcadey and which is the one that's more realistic. Either way, Gran Turismo. It's a good series. I've played several. I've never played a Rayman. I've played many a Castlevania. I love Castlevania, much like Metroid, being the Vania portion of Metroidvania. We stand a good Castlevania here. The Castlevania DLC for Vampire Survivors, quite possibly one of the best $3 that a person can spend if you don't own Vampire Survivors. Buy Vampire Survivors right now. There's no reason not to just have fun. Vampire Survivors might possibly be the perfect video game. We can have a discussion about Vampire Survivors later if you want, but it's not on this list, so we're gonna move on. Soul Calibur. I have played many a Soul Calibur. This is my #1 fighting game. This Soul Calibur is the fighting game that I've spent the most time on. It's the one that I've worked on the hardest to get good at. There's a strong chance that if you play against Maitake, you will not hit me and you will be dead before you draw your sword. And you will not appreciate how often I'm able to parry. Love Soul Calibur. Absolutely great franchise. Now, which Metroidvania, the normal or the IGA-vania RPG ones? Both. I love all Castlevanias. I've played all of the Castlevanias. Of the ones that I like, Aria of Sorrow and the like are the ones that I enjoy more. But that's just because I love RPGs. Are Metroid games developed by Nintendo? Some of them. They're all Nintendo locked, but they're not necessarily strictly in-house Nintendo games. A lot of I want to say all of the Prime games are outsourced, but I think most of the core games are in-house, but not all of the core games are in-house. I think like Fusion was outsourced. I'm pretty sure Dread was in-house. By the way, play Dread if you haven't. It's really good. Shin Megami Tensei. I've played one of them. I did not finish it, but I do get to mark it here because I did put some good time into it. This is another game series that I would like to go back and play quite a bit of. I've never played a Yakuza. I've never played a Command and Conquer. I've never played a Saga. I've never played a Total War. I've played numerous Phantasy Stars, and I've played all of the Parasite Eves, including the one that's named like third birthday, which was a PSP game. We need to go back to Parasite Eve 1, and we need to make more Parasite Eve 1-esque games. That like Resident Evil Flash RPG fusion, chef's kiss, so good. So good. Also, the story was super cool. It was weird, which makes sense because it was based off a Japanese horror novel. So of course it's gonna be weird. But love Parasite Eve. Loved it quite a bit. I love Phantasy Star as well. I should talk about Phantasy Star. I've played a lot of Phantasy Star Online. Played a lot of Phantasy Star Online 2. I've played a little bit of Phantasy Star Online 3, which is... or it's not even called 3. It's called something else. But that one's available, I believe, for free to play right now. The earlier RPGs were really fun. I think they should go back and release 1 or 2 of those, just to keep the series fresh-ish. Mortal Kombat, that's a top 3 fighter for me as well. It's not number 1. It's probably number 3. I think my number 2 isn't even on this list. Yeah, it's probably number 3. Love Mortal Kombat. Great games. A lot of fun. Best if treated more like a Super Smash Brothers than like a actual fighting game, because Mortal Kombat is more about the spectacle than it is about the fighting game. They've kind of played with that formula a bit too much, in my opinion, and they need to go back to it just being an over-the-top, bombastic sort of explosion video game. And trying too hard is the bane of Mortal Kombat, if we're being perfectly honest. Mega Man. Good gravy. Have I played a lot of Mega Man games? Oh, sorry, I coughed and muted my mic, and I don't know if that cough settled anything. Hold on, I'm gonna mute again. Okay. Excuse me. That was incredibly painful, and I do not recommend it. Basically, I coughed some of my phlegm into my lungs. 0 out of 10. See, did not enjoy that even a little bit. Excuse me. Sonic Adventure. That makes sense, comrade. This is a remix. It's called Tikal Drum and Reggae. Whew. I am currently crying, but we're all right. Mega Man. I love Mega Man. One of my favorite series. I love Mega Man. The Battle Network games, cannot recommend enough. Super good. I dislike X only for one reason. By the way, Mega Man X for the SNES is probably another perfect video game. And we can discuss that later. The thing that I don't like about Mega Man X is it focuses far too much on Zero, and I'm not playing Zero. They eventually started making Zero games for like the DS, and that's fine, and that's what they should have done from the beginning. I don't want to play a Mega Man game that's secretly about a second character who's always just the cooler version of my character. Like, who thought that was a good idea? Moving on. I can complain about that trope in video games all the time, because it comes up way too often. Uncharted. I've never played an Uncharted. I have watched my roommate play Uncharted's. That doesn't really count. Same with Tomb Raider. I've never played any of the Tomb Raiders. Very similarly, I have watched my roommate play Tomb Raiders. Ages and ages and ages ago. But I myself have never picked up the sticks. Portal. I've played through both Portals. Love Portal. Such a fun game. Such a fun second game. Really, really well done. Lot of humor. Can't recommend Portal enough if you haven't played them. I've played like 3 of the Sega Sonics, and that's it. Sonic the Hedgehog's kind of bad. I'm not sure if people know this. Like, it has a big fandom, but I'm actually pretty sure that they either openly acknowledge that the games that they love are horrible, or they're just like deeply in denial. You just know it's bad. Yeah, that's what it's always felt like. It's just like a bunch of people who are like, no, these games are horrible. We just love Sonic. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Games don't necessarily have to be good to be beloved. Undertale will tell you that. The Witcher. I just felt like throwing more shade at Undertale today, I guess. We know the games aren't amazing. It feels that way. The Witcher, I played Witcher 1 for a little bit. I do know that the music in the Sonic games are generally very good, partly because their remixes come up quite a bit, and they're often straight bangers. The Witcher, I played 1 and 2. I did not finish 1, I did not finish 2, but I played about half of each of them. I've never played 3, and I'm looking forward to 4, if that makes sense. The Witcher probably goes on the list of open world, like, where are they? Elder Scrolls games that I need to go back and play. They slap? Nice. I enjoy the Witcher games. Got nothing against them. Everybody tried to get me to play Witcher 3 for Gwent, and I'm like, I play card games that are designed as card games. Like, I'll play mini games, but I don't need to play a game that just for the mini game. When I play Witcher 3, I'll find out that if I should have just been playing Gwent my entire life. Who knows? Half-Life. Here's an interesting fact. I've been a PC gamer for years and years and years. I've never played a Half-Life. I've never cared about a Half-Life. Every time people talk about Half-Life 3 and, you know, how it's one of the best game series of all times, I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't care. Cool. I hope it comes out and you get something that you like. What about the Shovel Knight card game? Ooh. Now you've got my attention. I love a good card game. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I've not played a Half-Life. Probably never will. I've played exactly one Spyro the Dragon. I've played this Spyro the Dragon, I want to say, at Shirley's house. That is the limit of my Spyro the Dragon playing. I probably played Spyro the Dragon at Shirley's house very likely 20 years ago. Maybe a little bit less than 20 years, but it's closer to 20 than it's not. Spyro's fine. It is a PlayStation era platformer. I love platformers. I wasn't really into platformers when I was playing PlayStation. I was a lot deeper into my RPGs at that time, so I didn't really go back to play these. I would. It's not like if you told me to play Spyro, I would be miserable regarding it. I've never done it. I've played a few Dark Souls. I've played a Demon Souls. Actually, I played Demon Souls before most people. Not to be incredibly hipster or anything, but I did in fact play Demon Souls before it was cool. Demon's Souls, before it was cool. I was a day one purchaser of Demon's Souls, actually, because it wasn't on my radar at all. It was on my roommate's radar. So we both own copies of Demon's Souls. And then the next one I played was Dark Souls, or yeah, Dark Souls. No. Next one I played was Elden Ring. I went from Demon's Souls to Elden Ring. I don't dislike Souls-like games. Go back, see Contra regarding games that, reward you for just knowing what the heck you're doing. Dark Souls, Demon's Souls, all of those games, they're not hard. You keep getting people saying like the game is difficult, and it isn't. You just need to memorize the boss's attacks. Yes, memorization can be difficult, but if you do it enough times, it'll just stick in your brain. It turns out you can't play Peter Pumpkin Eater on the piano right away. You have to do it a couple times and then it gets stuck in your brain. There's no difference. It's a 1-to-1 comparison. Sometimes the boss fight is chopsticks, and sometimes it's Peter Pumpkin Eater, but you just have to figure out what incredibly simple song it is. Devil May Cry. I've played one Devil May Cry. I played enough of one Devil May Cry to know that I do not like Devil May Cry games. personally, I think anybody who likes Devil May Cry games are big poo-poo heads. And that's just an abject truth. So we'll move on to Silent Hill. I've played one Silent Hill game. It was the first one. I'm gonna let everybody in on a. Have I played a hack and slash? Yeah, I've played a hack and slash. I like hack and slash. You can arguably say that Diablo and Path of Exile are hack and slashes. Then yes, I've played DMC. Yeah. I mean, I've specifically played a game titled Devil May Cry. I played Silent Hill 1. This is somewhat of an open secret. Resident Evil is better than Silent Hill. There, I said it. The gameplay, or the same game. There's no difference, especially in the early Resident Evils and early Silent Hills. Eventually, they like shift, but if you played one, you've played them all. The story's what matters. Save yourself some time, just read the story. It'll take you like 30 minutes. I've technically played like a couple levels of Hitman, but not enough to put a check mark here. Similar with Dragon Age, I've probably played like an hour, maybe two of Dragon Age. I know that it's a game that I would love. So see like Yakuza and Nier. So we can circle this one. But I've not put enough time into Dragon Age. If someone thinks Silent Hill is greater than Resident Evil, they are lying to themselves. Absolutely. It's not a. I honestly don't think there are any people who would say that. You're rewatching QC's streams? Oh. Gears of War. I actually played quite a bit of Gears of War 1. That was one of the games that we moved to after Halo. It's fine. I've never played the campaign of Gears of War. I bought my copy just so I could play the multiplayer, as weird as that may be. Banjo-Kazooie, never played. Counter-Strike, I've played enough Counter-Strike to know that I am not good enough to play Counter-Strike. I don't want to spend 40 hours a day practicing my flick shots, so I'm not going to do that. God bless the people who do, though. Or Satan bless, or whoever bless. Those people are absolute troopers. I can't even regarding the skill ceiling of some of the Counter-Strike players. It is astronomical. Worms is great. I've played a couple of them. I don't know if there's much to say about the franchise. It's kind of a weird inclusion here, honestly. I've never played a Shadow Hearts. I think I know what series Shadow Hearts is, but I'm not like 100%. I also don't know why I'm crossing out the name here. I'm just going to go, I'm going to replace this. There we go. Now it says Shadow Farts. Actually, it just says farts. But I haven't played that. Bomberman, I've played many a Bomberman. Love Bomberman. Monster Hunter, I started with Monster Hunter Try for the Wii. They were great. They are great. Love Monster Hunters. Cannot recommend Monster Hunters enough. Get yourself a group of people to play Monster Hunter with. The game is passable to play by yourself. Usually, if you're playing by yourself, you're just going to fight the same boss over and over and over again to get different gear. That's what you're going to do in multiplayer as well, but you're going to have so much more fun when some fool knocks you into the air, which doesn't happen in Wilds, and sends you flying when you're trying to set a bomb. It's so good with a group. People always try to get you to play it. I don't like it. That's fair. The core gameplay is hit a thing with a stick until it falls over. I mean, you can boil most things down. There's a lot more to it, but I will not say Monster Hunter is for everybody. I think most people should try it. I think they should try it with a group more than they should try it by themselves. Playing by yourself, you probably won't have the similar experiences to playing by a group. Or in Rise, just wirebug in the air and rain bombs on people. Nice. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. Shenmue. I played Shenmue 1. I played enough of Shenmue 1 to know that game is actually secretly super bad. That's a bit much. Do you remember when I said that the gameplay of BioShock didn't exist and it was all about the story? There's a game in Shenmue somewhere And I think that the creators really struggled to find it. You did try it, they didn't explain things and kept leaving you behind. Well, you see, that's never fun. Then you just kind of feel like the fifth wheel, and you're like, all right, look at all these people doing their thing. That happens a lot in, do I want to play a game of Lucky Hit? No, I don't want to do anything to do with Shenmue. The director of Shenmue should have just released a film and called it good. The BioShock. Because you want to do it on Dreamcast? I guess. It's not better. You're not going to enjoy it anymore. I mean, if you enjoyed it the first time, sure, you'll enjoy it just as much on the Dreamcast, I suppose. But yeah, the Monster Hunter not explaining thing happens a lot with Payday 2. Watch a BioShock film or a show. A BioShock television show on like HBO would be, that would be super good. In Payday 2, you're trying to, rob a bank or whatever. But if you don't know what you're supposed to do while robbing this bank, you just sit there while everybody else does the things, and then you move the bags. And you're like, what, why am I here? The same people did that to you in Payday as well. Surely no. Payday and Monster Hunter are both games about teaching the person, like, here's what we're doing and why we're doing it. Like, when we had a new person in Payday, and in Left 4 Dead. Okay. Yeah, in Payday 2, the best thing to do is, like, you follow me. And if you're in a group chat of like 4 people, switch to a group chat of 2 people with the person who's shadowing you, and just open mic it and tell them everything that you're doing. And then you run that mission 3 times or whatever with you doing that same thing, so they get used to it and get it, and they're like, okay, now this is what you're going to do. And then, you go do a different thing. But I'm a nice gamer. Well, I want people to enjoy the games that I like. Left 4 Drag sounds like the kind of game there would be a strong fan base for. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I would. Left 4 Drag sounds awesome. You dress up your queen. Put makeup on them. I've never played a Watch Dogs. I've never played a Dishonored, but I have played Wild Arms. This is another franchise that they need to do a 4 of. I think they made 3. I think they made 3 of them. It's really hard to write in MS Paint, but Wild Arms is a PS1 era RPG. It really leaned into the Zelda-esque puzzles, which is super cool. It still had the RPG style battles, which was awesome. But you got a lot of tools that helped your exploration. It really combined the RPG and the Zelda in a way that I enjoyed quite a bit. Drag isn't for you, but you're glad you're... Exactly. Many of these games on this list aren't for me, but I'm glad that people love all of them. You should love what you love. With the exception of... Oh, I forget. Which one did I... Oh, yeah, Devil May Cry. I was going to say, you shouldn't love Devil May Cry, because everybody who loves Devil May Cry is a poo. Okay, so it's 6. There we go. Wild Arms 6, please. 4 and 5 are not worth your time. Hello, Mr. Killer. I only played the first 3. And I only remember the first 2. I don't think I finished the 3rd one. And by I don't think, I mean I'm pretty positive I didn't. I don't... You must not have heard anything. You must... Yeah, you might... Shame you weren't paying attention. All right. How'd we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 in row 1. I'm guessing there are 25 per row. All right, let's just count the number that I didn't check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, 5, 6, 7. So 23. No, it's 25. 18. Got it in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17. It's 34. It's 52. 74. 74 out of 100. And it only took us 2 hours to find that out. Actually, it would have taken us like 2 minutes to find that out, but we made a to-do out of it. We did a just chatting instead. Yeah, that's a lot. It's not surprising to me that it's 74. I play a lot of video games. I've played a lot of video games basically since I was 6-ish. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed going through this. We need to remember which games I want to replay. I really need to get a list of games that I need to play. But yeah, that's pretty. 74 is a lot. I played a lot of games, and that's just in this genre. Like, so the fun fact about Fire Emblem is like, it's a game series I know I would like. I just haven't played it. There's same with Red Dead Redemption. Like these two, Fire Emblem and Red Dead. Like I know I would enjoy both of these games, and I just haven't played them. Which is to say, I would also enjoy Ratchet and Clank probably, or Half-Life, or well, Tomb Raider, probably enjoy that. If Shadow Hearts is the RPG that I think it is, that's another game that I wanted to play, but I'm not 100%. The Saga series, I probably enjoy that. Yakuza, I absolutely know that I would enjoy like Infinite Wealth. Fire Redemption. Fire Dead Redemption. C's get degrees. What's your score, QC? You got 74B? 74 is a lot. I could fudge a couple of them. Like, I've watched someone play Uncharted and Tomb Raider and Last of Us, so that could be +3. I've played a platformer, so I could say I've played Banjo-Kazooie. You're in the high 80s? Wow, it's quite a few. Yeah, this was really fun. I'm only gonna stream for another hour. We made it through 2 hours of this. Absolutely wild. So what? Well, I've still got Path of Exile 2 pulled up. We're gonna play Path of Exile 2. I've drank a lot of water while talking because it turns out that I had no gameplay. Blockbuster Family Video helped, rented so many games. Oh, loved renting video games. We had Hollywood. Hollywood Video was our go-to. I don't remember why. I think it was because they had a deal of some sort where you got one free after 10 or something. I could play Balatro. I played Balatro on Tuesday. That was because Path of Exile went down, and I was like, I'll just play a game of Balatro. And then I stopped. I did a challenge. I absolutely crushed it. Wasn't close. I did not struggle even a little bit. I aimed for a straight flush deck, ended up making a flush deck. It was perfect. Yeah, our Hollywood was better. That was another reason. We had a Blockbuster. You've gotten all the challenges unlocked now? Nice. Have you beaten them all? Speaking of great games, how about Balatro? Really good game. While I switch back to the game, which is actually pretty easy. I'm gonna, before I do that, I'm gonna throw up and be right back. Like I said, I drank a lot of water, so I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Oh, I think no, Poe didn't crash. It just loaded for a bit. All right, here you go. I'm muting myself. I'll give you some extra music, and then I'll see you all in just a bit. What are we listening to? I just got back and it sounds like an absolute banger. QC Hawk also misses QC Hawk stream. We all miss QC Hawk streams, but he doesn't love us anymore, so he's just abandoned us to the cold, harsh realities of the universe. So, did Pink Poppy prepare the Psyduck before your Hula stream? Or did Pink Poppy hear about your Hula stream and then they're like, well, I better make a Hula-ing Psyduck? Explain the genesis of your emote. Took him 30 minutes. Ah, nice. Very nice. I keep trying to hit the raid. That's not what we're doing. We're playing Battle Egg. Wait, there's 97 people watching Poe 1? That to me is wild. There's 54,000 people watching this game right now. Play Super Mario Brothers 3? You want me to just do some Super Mario Brothers 3 speedruns? I can do that for an hour. I haven't practiced that in a while. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Shirley. I didn't turn it down when I got back. Hold on. We'll be right back again. Let's hope my stream doesn't... Oh, my controller's already plugged in. Nice. Mario Party stream? Ha. No. Super Mario World? I am alarmingly bad at... So, this is the thing that was very confusing to me. I watched Super Mario World something or another. And I went back to... Here, I'll just move myself to just chatting again. Because we're not really... We're here. I went back to Super Mario World, and Mario felt so ridiculously washy. Like, I could not control him at all. It was insane to me. Admittedly, I've played so much Super Mario Brothers 3 that if Mario doesn't control like Super Mario Brothers 3 Mario, I struggle with it a little bit until I adjust. But I played Mario World for like an hour and a half, and I could not for the life of me do anything. It was absolutely baffling. I can't even. I didn't understand it. I haven't gone back and tried again, but I've asked several people if the change is like incredibly noticeable, or if it's just because I've played so much Super Mario Brothers 3. Which is I think it's this one. Oh yeah, I was playing Friday the 13th. Why was I playing Friday the 13th? Did I play that on stream? Hold on, I gotta reload the ROM. We appear to be in middle of a run. Oh, there we go. Do we want Mario Brothers 3 or do we want OC Remix? Anybody have any strong opinions? All right, no responses. All right, this should be B. This should be A. Away we go. I really need to fix that portion of my run. And then that jump. I'm slightly off on both. There's a couple frames during the combo of the two. All right, let's stop OC for now. We'll just get Mario 1. You don't duck behind the white platform to go behind the stage. Only in World 3. World 3 is where you get the warp whistle. That was a bad jump. That was a worse jump. I'm flubbing all my jumps. Super Mario Brothers 3 is... I don't want to say my favorite Super Mario Brothers because I do love all Super Mario Brothers. It's definitely the one that I've played the most because, well, I know the speed run for it. Well, one of the speed runs for it. There's 3 warp whistles, in fact. In World 1, there's 2, and that's in 1-3 and then 1-Fortress. Also, getting this is a safety. You don't need it, but I always run the safeties when I run because I'm not doing time runs. The other warp whistle is here. And then the 3rd warp whistle is in World 2, of all places. I hesitated. Everything's awful. We're doing it live. That was ugly. It's been so long since I've got World 2's warp whistle, I do not remember if it's on an airship or not. Do-do-do. There's definitely some ring rust. That fortress stage was real bad. Fun fact, the optimal way to go through this stage is to make sure that every single, or well, not every, but as many enemies as possible get killed. Because the game can't handle the number of moving sprites. I'm not that good. Oh, I love this stage. One of my favorites. Especially because of that jerk throwing it just almost at head height. Knowing where all the enemies spawn is, of course, much easier than not. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, all the tank designs are wonderful. The enemy design in 3 is without parallel. See, like right there, I gotta make sure to clear those bombs and not lose the frames. But I don't. Boom. This seemed harder the last time you played. That's fair. Oh, how dare you? I do, in fact, make this look easy. I will admit to that. That's one of my favorite jumps, is getting over there and landing on the French Koopa. One of the easiest levels in World 8. But Krillin, you're gonna drown underneath there. No. No, I'm not. It's perfectly safe. You don't even have to mash that hard, which is the nice part. And for some reason, the wrenches are easy enough for the NES to render that clearing out all of the wrench-throwing chaps isn't necessary to stop, like, game lag. It's really the bomb particles that are the biggest problem, but if the... I'm getting nervous. If the amount of bombs were high enough, this would be a much slower way of going about it, but because it's not, and because I don't worry about getting, like, 99 one-ups, I always take the easy way in this level. It's not any faster. Oh, too soon. I am here to make you I'm here to make you think about death and feel sad and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, gotta reset. So the speedrun for this particular game, of course, you cannot get hit by any of those hands, or can you just absolutely flub the Hammer Brothers fight there. Big bro. I have a Sex Bomb t-shirt. I think I mentioned that, but if I didn't, I might have got distracted by having to reset the run. Love Scott Pilgrim. Oh, 2 hands. Rough. This is slower than running, but I don't have to deal with Jeep Jeeps, so... So I will. Fun fact, you can't get enough coins in the speedrun to get a free life. This level was always the hardest level as a child. As an adult Krillin, it's one of my favorites. A young Krillin would have been in awe at how an old Krillin goes through this level. Ooh. Yeah, the Brie Larson version of Black Sheep is spectacular. Metric as a whole, after Scott Pilgrim, became one of my favorite bands. If you haven't listened to Metric, you have to go back and you owe it to yourself. They're fantastic. My hands are sweaty. Even Crash and the Boys has a girl drummer. Which one's Crash? It's just with a C. How many of these 1-ups do you think we will need? Yeah. Oh, what have I done? I haven't done this level this way in so long. Okay. Well. All right. Looks like we'll need at least one. I don't know why I didn't fly there. That was very strange. Different one than the one you listen to? Yes. The Metric that I'm referring to is a aggressively Canadian band. I wouldn't go that far, but... Did I not get the flight? I must not have got the flight last time. Oop. No! Ah, this run's cursed. This run's so cursed. I'm tilted. First try? How dare you, Shirley? I blame Bastion. He did this. That's the final jump. I don't know if well, you guys may not have known that, but I was botching the final jump and did so twice. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. By the way, this level is not much harder without your feather, but it is more annoying. Or with your... who's it? Guess we had to use that safety fire flower. That last jump, you just have to believe. That's the trick to it. If you believe, you will make that jump every time. If you hesitate, you will die. That was bad, but worked out. I was dangerously close to that Thwomp's hitbox. Oh, that's embarrassing. Ooh. Ooh. Did Mario briefly turn into Fire Mario when I went into that door? I'm watching the replay and I think he did. Oh yeah, he absolutely did. Ah, I had the jump, but I was pressing left at the time. My Mario continues to turn into Fire Mario in between scene transitions, and I don't know if I'm just noticing it or if he has always done that. 2 levels left. This one's basically a gimme. Bowser is also pretty much a gimme. The big thing to remember about this level as like a casual player is that the cannonballs don't move. Like they go in the same, if the cannonball's not going to hit you where you're standing, it's not going to hit you at any other point. Like the stage moving is an illusion, is where I'm going. I should have time for 2 more. Maybe even 3, depending on how run 2 goes. I got that one. You demand 3 more? We'll see. You'll get 2. 3 is in the air. My only complaint is this enemy type should have been mixed up a lot more than it was. That was a bad time too, but it was close. I do appreciate the symmetry of World 8 and 8 Marios, though. That's got kind of a... Nope, you don't need to fly there. I was doing it for the flex, you see. It was a horrible time to lose run power. Oop. Wait for it. Ah. We're playing really cautious here. And I don't like it. The only statue that fires a laser is that first one. I wish they mixed that up more. But that was bad. Oh, sure. Good night, Bowser. Time is when I enter the door. Because it's the last input. Time. Alright. Not great. Not bad. Actually, kind of bad. Like, that was an ugly run. Is that the white block you're referring to, comrade? The one right in the front there? Ooh, that was... There's a lot of hesitation in everything I did there, and that's not good. Gotta head out? Alright, fair. Well, have a good night. Thanks for... Excuse me. Thanks for stopping in. Saying hello. Hope you have a good Monday, buddy. Ooh. That one's good. It's the same. That's you can do that on any white block in the game. It's just I don't know if you have enough time to get behind or to get the end of the stage in World 1 or stage 1, but it might be just because I'm super used to this route. He is not supposed to jump there. Shazbot. I don't know if there's got to be a feather in 1- Fortress. Otherwise, we'll have to adjust. Boop. Yeah, I think there's a feather on the second item block, or the third one, maybe? I keep calling them feathers, by the way. They're not. They're leaps. But when I was a young Krillin, for some odd reason, this was a feather. Explain it if you can. If not, that's fine. Kids are silly. Yeah, this is... Oh, no, yeah, this is firepower. And I think the one next to the dry bones is a leaf. Which means we once again completely botched 1- Fortress. There we go. Decent recovery. Toot. Toot. Doo-doo-doo. What a great concept. Like, a warp whistle, if you use on the warp stage, you get to warp again. I just love it. It's so like easy, but at the same time super clever. Short of that jump. The background of these stages during the Super Mario Brothers All-Stars is really, really good. It really adds to the ambiance of World 8, but there's something in my heart, partly because I played this game on the NES as much as I have. That was a really bad lag spike. That just really loves the flat background. I don't know. It's the Dark World. It's just this flat black, and they're just marching across, or driving in this case, across a plain black floor with just some lines to show the curvature. I don't know. It's good, but should I go on top this time? What do you all say? Easy route or hard route? Remember, there's no difference in the time. Does not take any. Well, it's slightly faster to go the hard route because you can go into the pipe faster. So you know what? Let's do the hard route. I haven't done the hard route in ages. We'll see if I brick this. Oh, I can top? Nice. Sometimes it's fun to top. Boom. Boom. I'd like to point out these ships are quite literally shooting at each other. There's no enemies here but me. These ships are just firing cannons at all times of day, willy-nilly. William Nilliam. So slightly faster that way. Ah, perfect. Perfect orb grab. Let's go. Are we resetting the run? Yes. All right, so 2 completely invalid runs regardless of what I've done. Second time I've botched that. One of those 2 hammer bros. You missed. By the way, you get stunned with the big hammer bro if he hits the ground and you're on it. It's a really nice, like... So, come on, am I gonna get all 3? This one's at least quick. The middle one, like, if you get it, it's fine. If these hands are random. The speed run requires that you get 0 of the 3. So, like, a proper world record pace requires that I get none of them. Instead of all 3. Whoa! Okay. Okay. All right. Turns out we've got 3 leaves in our inventory thanks to some shenanigans. But because they're random, if you get to World 8 and you hit the first one, if you hit any of them, your run is dead. You gotta start over. Of course, I'm not recording these for world record pace or anything, and it's not what I'm doing, so I don't do that, but I do mention every time it happens, because I have had comically few runs where I haven't hit one of the 3 hands. And I honestly think that's why everybody's technique during the like the World 1-1 is super good, is because they just get so much practice on 1-1. Oh, what? That was BS, folks. All right, we're Nakey Mario. Here we go. Sorry, we only had, what, 3 jumps being naked? Bad orb jump. That was a BS hit. Oop, there we go. That said, if you don't have a leaf for this stage, which it isn't required, you can do this stage normally. I never do. If you don't have a leaf for the stage, you can go back and run one of the hands to get one. They're guaranteed out of there. And you might think, hey, you can just fly the whole way to the end of the level. You can't. If you do, you will fall short and you'll land right between these 2 pipes. You also never want to hit this because it takes time. When you get your 3rd card, you want to make sure that it doesn't match, because the 5-up takes extra time. Again, I'm not doing like a true and proper speed run, but it's important to know what the ooh, that was bad. It won't matter because we can still easily fly over the piranhas, but yeah, we got to double back for the speed to get over this. Nope. Why are we short? There it is. That one you can't just leap of faith it. You do have to bounce on the blocks a little bit, and while I can do it, I always choose not to. Much like I choose not to leap of faith it when I can fly. It only requires 2 bounces, so it's not the worst if you have to do it without a Tanuki leaf. But it is slightly more annoying than with. Nope, 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 nope. That was close. Oh, I have exactly the right amount of faith. I think the Mario was switching to Fire Mario in between screen transitions because I had been Fire Mario earlier in the stage, so I had that sprite loaded. And I'm not sure why the ROM was trying to show Fire Mario so frequently. Ugh, that was ugly. It was a good orb jump, but not the best. You might think that the orb jump is purely cosmetic, but you do grab it a couple frames quicker if you follow it up and down. So that's why you'll always see me practice it, even if I don't land it. Boop, boop, boop. Did I go forward? That was weird. This one? Nope. That was bad. This one. All right, we're good. Ooh, ooh. Oh no! I was too early. Team, I was too early. It makes the orb jump so much harder. So, you don't have to fly over those statues. I said that the last time we were on this stage. But I have found, and I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard I try, but periodically, if I don't fly, I will get clipped by one of the lasers, which should not happen, but every now and then it do. That was bad. It's alright, we can fix it in post. Oop. Doo-doo. Much better last donuts. So you are supposed to come into this room with firepower. Actually, I think. Yeah. Because you can shoot Bowser to death faster, depending on how quickly you mash. He takes longer to do the jumping things, but it's not much longer. As you can see. 1, 2, 3. Once again, time is when I go through the door. And time. That was good. That one wasn't bad at all. With the exception of the, like, ridiculous hand RNG getting me all 3 of them. That was a pretty quick run. Bastion's 3 runs just might come into fruition. Oh, this is a much cleaner 1-1. Oh, I already lost faith. I hit turbo speed and everything fell apart. We were having exactly none of that. Ugh. Flubbed jump after oh, even that one was bad. That was bad. That was good. That was bad. That was fine. That was bad. What? That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. What was that? Why did I get hit by that fire? What? Who? All right, we're gonna skip the Toad House. I gotta make up some time. Especially because this level is somewhat annoying without a cape feather. We can fix it right here, but a cape feather? That's Super Mario World. Doug Diddodrome. Post your Doug Diddodromes in chat, folks. A reference that I do not understand. I don't know who Doug Diddodome is, but I do appreciate a Ditto in a top hat. Oop, I overshot my mark there. Did I short it? Oh, that's BS. I did watch Fairly Odd Parents, but not enough to know all the references. It was definitely not my generation, but I did watch some of it. Doo, doo, doo. I know we'll finish this run in time, depending on how the hands treat us. I don't think we're going to get a run after this, though. Oop, that was a bad jump. I'm not remembering the sequence. All right, we're good. It's... I know the girl fairy's named Wanda, right? What's the name of the boy fairy? Cosmo and Wanda. Silly Babam, you didn't even chase me. You just gave up. I'm thinking of Vision. That's true. I am usually thinking of Vision. But Vision's a robot. All right, folks, are we topping or bottoming again? I can't imagine either is particularly, like... The top isn't hard. It's just slightly harder. No, Data's an android. No one said anything. We're going top. Mrs. Killer's more of a bottom. That's fair. Both perfectly valid. I want to speak to these boat designers. We've got forward-facing cannons, we've got rear-facing cannons. And then, what's the point? The top isn't hard, it's just slightly harder. True. Perfect orb. Let's go. All right, let's see how the hands treat us today. Does Bowser have hands today? 1. If we're gonna get 1, this is the one we want. Female-coded robots are called gynoids. Is Rosie the robot a gynoid or a robot? We got 2. That's fine. Although I could do without all the frickin' cheeps. Oop, everything went awful for just... Why am I not able to duck? That one was close, folks. That one was close. I can duck. Can confirm ducking is possible. I am just fat fingering. Can't duck, but we can owl. We were talking about Rosie the Robot in your chat, wasn't it, Bastion? I don't know how we got on Jetsons, but you sang the theme song. Every time I think of Rosie the Robot, I remember a Robot Chicken sketch, which was a combination of iRobot and the Jetsons. And it was Rosie in the position of the robot who murdered someone, saying, "I did not murder him." It's amazing. Because I said, hoo hoo hoo. That's fair. Another good orb grab. We're doing good. We're locked in, folks. If our hands had treated us better, I think this would have been a on-pace run. I would say Rosie is, well, not like built femme, because she's very cylindrical. She definitely is femme presenting. Is Toby aware that Stardew Valley has a mayonnaise machine? I don't know. Did Rosie ever self-refer to as femme? Maybe? I'll admit, it's been a long time since I've watched the Jetsons. I'm guessing that likely holds true for most people. So I can't say for certain. We'll have to go back and rewatch all of the Jetsons to see if she refers to herself as femme. Do I think the Jetsons had a mayonnaise machine? Yes, absolutely. All right, I just decided I didn't want that. Power up. Leaf? There we go. My brain was not allowing me to remember what power up it was, like, at all. This run was going so well. No! I'm so... Well, nothing really, but... Disappointed? Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that hit. If she says she's femme, she's femme. Correct. They say they're a cop, they're not to be trusted. Well, you know what they say about cops. Sure. You know what? Wait. That's problematic. I don't know where this door leads. Oh, this door's fine, I guess. Oh, maybe it's not. All right. Where does this door lead? Guess we're over here now. Where in the name of everything that is good and holy am I? Oh, oh. Biscuit-eating bulldog. Oh, that's a hell of a jump. Well, on the right side, we can go straight to the boss. This run was so good. Have a good night, Errol. Have a good night. Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, we just need to get a mushroom at the least on this level. I will admit to not knowing where any of the power-ups in this level are. I will also admit to that probably not mattering. I can just hit every block that I run into. Oof. That last stage was just a comedy of errors. None of you can throw a wrench low enough to hit me. You realize that, right? I don't think they do. Is there nay a power-up in this entire stage? That might be why I don't remember any of them. I want to say there's one here. Nope. Okay. No power-ups for Krillin. That means we have to do the donuts. We could go back for a leaf, I suppose. It was a good orb jump. We're not going to, though. We're gonna do it hard mode. In case you're wondering, that 1-up does mean that you can never game over on this stage, as long as you can make it to that 1-up. Which is sometimes easier said than done. But the game has graciously given you an out to any situation, which is a free guy in the last stage of the game. Did not have to jump that. Probably didn't have to jump that, but oh, we're gonna kill him in a more interesting spot. On the last run of the night. Bowser, you jerk. You shorted your jump. You shorted your jump. I can't even with you right now. All right, I think my second run was the cleanest. The first run was pretty bad, and then this run, the wheels absolutely fell off. That's all right. That is okay. Since we are in the last minutes of the stream, got anyone for me to raid out to, now's the time to let me know. And we will do so. All right, he's in the right spot. Are you kidding me? What is the size of the hitbox on that fireball? To be fair, I don't often fight Bowser when I'm this small. If I were big, I would have dodged that. I should probably behave as though I am big, because I am not used to fighting him as little Mario. That was close. Get mad. I am, of course, a ball of rage, the likes of which you have never seen before. Oh. Oh. Bowser is a cheating poo-poo head, and everybody knows it. Doop, doop, doop. What the? There's a fireball on screen. He threw his fireball to start the fight. Ah, ridiculous. We are once again in an awkward position, but it'll make it work. And time is when we open the door. Time. All right, we'll listen to Peach as we end tonight's stream. Nobody gave me anybody to raid out to. Yet y'all had one job, and that job was to smooch the princess. Who out there smooching they princesses? Or princes. Or non-binary royalty. There's got to be something there. Non-royalty? We're gonna move on. I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. We had a really good group. We had a lot of fun. We played Mario Brothers. I feel like y'all might be bored of watching me play Path of Exile, so I believe on tomorrow's bonus stream, if there is a bonus stream tomorrow, but on Tuesday's regularly scheduled stream, we'll play something else. We will play something else. But we did it. We beat Super Mario Brothers 3 times. We're the champions. We're the best around. And one of them looked good. Just the one though. Yeah. Well, let me thank everybody for being here with me. I talked a lot today, and my voice can tell it. We had Comrade, we had Mrs. Killer, we had Errol, we had Shirley, we had QC, we had Bastion, we had Scissors, for just a little bit. We had Mr. Killer, at least I believe Mr. Killer said hello. We had Bebop. And I think that was everybody. I want to say we had a... What's it called? A thingy? A subscription? We did have a... I don't remember by who. Who subbed? Was it Arrow or was it QC? I don't remember. Either way, I appreciate it. Why is there nothing that tells me when people were... It was Bastion? Oh, well, thank you, Bastion. We had a Krillin point for guessing how many times people told me that I ruined their Christmas. That was always fun. Let's find somebody playing Super Mario Brothers 3. By the way, I do love how my curtains almost line up with the Super Mario Brothers 3 curtains. It's so very close. Just a smidge off. The curtains look good. The floor pattern's a touch different. Also, the color is different because it has to be. We don't want to get sued. Yeah. Love Super Mario Brothers 3. I really enjoyed going through the varieties games thing. That was good too. It was a lot of fun. We just talked. We just had a nice little chat. I thanked everybody. I'll be back on Tuesday for sure. That's my next guaranteed stream. We'll be back on Wednesday for certain as well. No, wait. What am I talking about? We will not be streaming on Wednesday. If you want to guess as to why, go ahead. I'll allow it. Shoot, we might not be streaming on Tuesday. Oh no, is there no streams this week? No, I should be able to stream Tuesday. There will be no stream Wednesday, which means I might stream on Thursday or Friday because I do have Thursday and Friday off this week, so that'll be nice. A little bit of vacation time to use up as the holiday ends or begins or stays in. I'm clearly tired and no longer talking. You have a good night as well, Mrs. Killer. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday. Who am I going to raid out to? I'm going to find somebody playing Mario if there is anybody. Otherwise, we'll find somebody on my... Celebrating the release of Randomizer Deluxe 1.2 by playing some seeds. There's a randomize? Of course, I mean, of course there's... That doesn't... You know what? That's what we're going to go do. We're going to go watch a Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer. So yeah, enjoy that. Remember, as always, be excellent to each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Yo, Krillin fan with Party of 5. Welcome on in.